nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Hello everyone, welcome to Black Girl Nerds Talks. I'm Shenee.
I'm Lisa Movie Girl.
Hello
hey
everyone. Hi, and today we're going to be talking about the latest installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, Dead Men Tell No Tales, right? Dead Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I guess we'll just jump right into it. So, Liz, you start. Like, what did you think of the movie? How'd you feel?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. Like, it's pretty much everything you would expect from a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Mm-hmm. And I think with these films, and I guess we'll, like always, go into what we liked and didn't like, but specifically with the Pirates film, I feel like they've been in sequel hell, and they've just been getting more and more convoluted as time goes on. So this one was good because it had more of a simple story, so it was just easier to follow and just a straightforward adventure film. Yeah, so that's my general thoughts on it. It was okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, I thought I laughed. I just was like cracking up the whole time. Like I just thought the whole thing was hilarious. Like, I don't know, like I was crying laughing that whole movie because it was just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily bad. It was just kind of like, why would you make these choices? You know what I mean? But like I said, because this franchise has sort of been kind of not had its way in a while, you sort of expect it. I think that it's one of those things where you go to the movies and you're like, okay, it's not like offensively bad. You're not like, oh my god, it's like the worst thing in the world. But it just seems like a shame to me because the first movie was so good and it's such a great world and there's so much you can do that the fact that there's so many like little like continuation mistakes, just like bad decisions being made when there's so much good stuff in there, it just feels like more of a shame than anything else, you know? So
yeah, I completely agree. There's really good concepts in all of the movies.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying that they fill it with so much nonsense because like there shouldn't be 4 of these. This should have been like the end of a trilogy, and they should have cut out so much stuff, like because the bones of the story is really, really good. So I feel like this would have made more sense if it was a third installment. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, or even maybe a 4th one. So it's like kind of like a coming back to this after this trilogy, but there's been just so much nonsense. It's kind of like, okay, whatever.
Right, and it's just, I mean, the other big thing is that like, it's just because of one of the reasons why I was like laughing about it. I was like, well, if we knew that this thing existed, this literally would have solved all the problems of all the movies. Like, so like as soon as I realized that, I just was like crying, laughing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
so
and then everybody's like front, like they knew that this thing, we're not going to spoil it, but this thing that existed that they're trying to find has existed all the time. I'm like, well, like, literally every problem in every one of these movies could have been solved by this thing. So it's just like weird choices, you know? So I mean, I think so I guess we could start to break down maybe the positives and the negatives next, maybe? Should we start positive?
Yeah, let's start with positive.
So the positives, I think there was a lot of jokes, and they were like corny, like not great jokes, but I still enjoyed them. I just was like, I just lived. I was like, oh my god. My favorite part of the whole movie is that in this movie, Barbossa is like really rich. And like there's this moment when he like walks down the corridor and his like cape swishes, and I was just like, yes. Like me and my friend literally, as soon as it happened, we were both like, literally at the same time. It was so funny because he was just like so swaggy, and I really liked Barbossa's character. I don't like something that they added to his character towards the end. I literally like it was so funny because it's an LA audience, so we're kind of like assholes
used to
when we watch movies, and so like as soon as this reveal happens, we're all like, it
was really annoying.
The whole group.
It was like, unnecessary.
Especially since, but I thought Barbossa was really good in the film. Like, I liked, because he seems to be the one who's still, like, he understands his character. He knows sort of like what his character is motivated by, what they want. Like, I feel like he is more in it, and it's just like a testament to like, you know, he's such a great actor, so he's going to come in and like really bring it, and he's not phoning it in. So I really liked his character. Like I said, the corniness of the jokes were kind of interesting. I just thought that they were having a good time with that, which is nice. I liked all of the sort of like crew, like Jack Sparrow's crew that came back. Like, I liked that presence because it felt really familiar. And again, like all the pieces of the movie that felt really grounded and felt like people who were really had the initial intention for the series in mind. Like, I felt like his whole crew, like, really understood, you know what I mean? Like, they had, honestly, it's probably a lot of it's chemistry, right? They've been in these movies for the last, like 10 years, so they sort of know each other and, like, whatever. I enjoyed that type of thing. What did you enjoy?
I like the jokes as well. The jokes were corny, and they were kind of like, ha ha ha. I feel like I liked the potential that I saw in it, if that makes any sense. I liked the guy who played Will Turner's son, Henry Turner. I thought it was good. I really liked his character. I liked what he brought to the table, but then the addition to it and kind of the mirroring of other things kind of irritated me, so we can talk about that later. But yeah, I liked him.
So hard.
Like, there's so hard to find things that I like. I really liked that the story was simple and easy to follow, and that it really wasn't too much going on, because these movies already have a lot of set pieces. They like to have these dramatic, silly scenes, and if you're going to do that, then make the story more simple, because if you're going to add those dramatic, huge sets and pieces and special effects, if you're going to do all of that and then the story is confusing, I don't personally like that. So
that's interesting, because I was just like, the whole time I was like, what the hell is happening? What are we doing? Where are we going?
It was way more simple than the 3 other movies that
I guess. I mean, I think it was, I don't know, like, for me, this movie was really hard for me to follow. Maybe I just watched it too late in the day. But, like, I was just like, what's happening? And I guess that leads us to sort of, like, our negatives. For me, God, where do I start? I didn't like Henry. I didn't like Henry or Karina. I thought they were just boring, so boring. You know, one of the interesting things about Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, you know, regardless of where they are now or what you think about them now, at the time they just had like, there was just like something about them. There's like a spark or something about them that they both just like lit up the screen. And you know, they just had it, and you can even tell when they came on the screen at the end. Like, you can tell
in the
it's like the screen. They just
I wish you guys were in this movie more.
Yeah, exactly. Cause there's no spoiler to know that they're in the casting. They're at the series. But as soon as they go on the screen, you're like, oh right, this is what it's supposed to be like. They have really good chemistry together. They just have really good energy on screen, and those 2 actors, they just are like blank, like completely blank, and like their line delivery and stuff was just so it just like wasn't there. And I thought that
can I like clarify what I meant by me liking that character?
Sure.
Is I liked what his story was in relation to the movie, not necessarily. I mean, I thought the actor was okay. I just liked what he was bringing to the table, because the Karina girl was completely useless to me, and if she wasn't in the movie, it wouldn't make absolutely no difference. So, like, I feel like you could have done, but I guess that's how it is with these movies. When you have so many people in your cast, it's like,
it's hard, because everybody wants, there's so many people who need screen time, and there's so many storylines that they need to, I guess, make room for. That was my big thing. There was just like so many logic jumps and like holes in the script. Like huge holes in the script. Like, so we would be one place, and then like a giant development would happen where, you know, that would like push the action, but the way that you got there made no sense. I was like, wait, how did that happen? Where did that happen? And then like the C logic, like the C logic was very bad. This one, like, usually you can kind of ignore it and it kind of makes sense, but this C logic was like, people should not have been fighting each other so fast. In this one, it was like especially horrible. I thought Johnny Depp, he was really phoning it in. This one, he just was like, the voice wasn't consistent, his performance wasn't consistent, he was all over the place. I know that there was like lots of speculation of like what he was doing, or like how the condition he was on when he was on the set, and you can really tell, because I feel like in the last couple movies, his performance was pretty consistent, especially in the first three. I don't know about the last one, but this one, he just was all over the place, and I was like, he just does not want to be here. He's here to get this check, and that's it. Because like I feel like no matter what, it seemed like he really was committed to that character, and I feel like this was the first one when he really was like, I don't have it.
I'm tired.
I don't have it to give to this character.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other things, but I'll let you go next. What were your concerns?
Yeah, I would agree with you on the C logic. I'm just like, how did this happen? Wait, how did you find this person?
Witch?
Yeah, there was, and honestly, like, I don't know what to think, because I just feel like these movies are movies you watch on TNT or TBS when they have their, marathons, and it's like whatever. It's like whatever.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's hard because like the overall experience, because it's pirates, because it's the sea, because adventure movies, no matter how bad they are always enjoyable. Like, that's
they're
why
fun. Like, it was still fun to watch. Like, especially because you get to see some of your favorite characters again, and you see ridiculous hijinks, and and I don't know. It's like I kind of liked it for that reason, but then I didn't because it's a mess as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like this is not like a very strategic review. Like, we're just like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about. I know that I just thought it was like okay. I can't sit here and say that I hated it, because I didn't hate the experience
either.
I did kind of fall asleep in the middle.
Yeah, it felt really long, and it's actually the shortest of all of them. But
no way.
Yeah, I remember being like, how long is this movie? Like,
I was falling
long.
asleep.
It was so boring.
Yeah.
But it's what you're saying is really interesting, because I feel like that's how a lot of these movies, the Transformers movies, these movies, that's how they keep momentum. Like, I would argue, even if you don't watch the Fast and the Furious movies, but like even those movies are kind of boring. But you get it's just buoyed by the fact that it's familiar. It's like characters It's like the journey is like that type of journey is just fun to watch. It's just fun
I think
to
it
watch
is, because there is an after credit scene, and I'm like, am I really gonna come back for more? I don't know.
After credit scene? No, I left.
You left. Yeah, so there's an after credit scene. So people who haven't seen it, stay and watch after credit scene if you want to, because I guess they're gonna keep going with this depending on how much money this makes, which seems like it was
apparently.
It's number one, and another movie didn't do so well.
Oh, Baywatch.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was gonna make money. I think if it came out last week, it would have.
I think it's not good. Apparently, that's the problem.
Okay.
I think that if it would have been good, like I said, like a 22 Jump Street.
Well, remember that's what I said. If they went for that,
if it was good in that way, where it's like, the first batch of people see it on Friday and they're like, oh, you should see it, and it's like sort of buoyed by word of mouth. But if it's not good, it's not even The Rock can save it. But it's interesting because it's the first like
flop of
X
his
on The Rock's portfolio, which is really interesting.
Well, he had the Scorpion King. That's not good.
That was like 15 years ago, and those movies still made money. But like, this is a Baywatch review. But I mean, what's really interesting is that, like, how did they screw it up, though? Like, it just seems so straightforward. I thought the trailer seemed really fun, so Zac Efron, probably. Although I want Zac Efron to do well. I don't know. Anyway, back to the movie.
So we'll see how this does in the box office. Is this, Guardians is...
I'll see it. That's the thing, it's like, if another movie comes out, I'll probably see it.
Yeah.
That's how people feel about the Transformers movies. I think that's the easiest comparison. Because I remember when me and my parents saw it, we were like, this is trash. But It was fine. You know what I mean? But it's still fine. You know, it's hard.
I'm not saying I don't watch Transformers in the theater anymore, but it's funny. I realized when I was sitting in the theater that I've seen every Pirates movie in the theater except the first one.
I did not see the last one. The Pirates 4, I was like...
The one with the mermaid and stuff?
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater.
I've only seen it once, and I could barely get through it. I think this one was definitely better than that one.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely. And maybe that's another reason why I'm kind of giving this a pass, because that last one was really, really bad.
It was horrible. Yeah. That one was almost unwatchable. But yeah, the first 3 movies I saw in the theater. So maybe that means that maybe everybody will come back. Keira Knightley.
Well, because I loved the first movie so much, and I thought that I regretted not seeing that in the theater.
Oh, it was amazing. I remember it was I was pretty young. I think I was still in high school or middle school, 2004. So I was in high school. And we were all just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Legolas, look at Legolas. What is he doing? So, yeah. I mean, those are our thoughts, I guess. This was quite the review. We'll see how this comes out. But overall, it's fine. Like, I feel like I had an okay time, but I just thought it wasn't good. And I think honestly, if I probably would have saw it earlier in the day, because I saw it, me and my friend like went out and had dinner and saw it at like 8:45 at night. So I was just like I usually see movies before 12 p.m. Like my sweet spot is a 10:30 a.m. showing because I'm an old person. So I was just like, whoa. So I think that painted my picture, have made it seem worse to me. But I think thinking back on it, I had a lot of fun with a lot of the jokes and stuff.
Yeah, I just thought it was silly. And it's just like, okay, if you guys want to spend this money and make this movie, at least it's not like completely garbage. Like, that last one is incoherent. So to go from that last one to this one, it is a step up. And then to see, again, some of our favorite characters again, it's really nice. So, yeah. I
guess go see it if you want.
Yeah.
If you were
glowing review.
if you were interested in it, definitely don't go see it. Like, if you were like, I don't really want to see this, don't go see it. But if you are a fan of the original movies and you are wondering if it's going to be as bad as the other one, it's not. And there's some funniness. There's some like real like
there's
laughs,
funny moments,
like some legit. Like, I was like, ha ha ha. So.
Yeah, there's funny moments. There's silly moments. There's like moments and stuff, especially the end. Which I felt like I was waiting to happen the whole movie, so that's another thing.
Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, man. 2004 is alive and well. I keep saying this.
It's all coming back.
It's alive and well. Like everything, Mandy Moore. We say this every time, but it's so crazy to me. Of all years, why 2004? Like, it's so weird.
Keira Knightley is like, I'm bringing everything back. They recently did a Love Actually reunion. Did you see that?
No.
It's all coming back. Yes, girl, look it up on YouTube. What?
What year did?
Like 2006.
See?
Yeah, it's wild. 2006, 2005. Yeah.
Ja Rule's coming back. Ashanti's coming back. Literally.
Ja Rule ain't coming back. Not after that festival.
Oh, he tried to come back.
He tried.
Ashanti can come back. I'd be okay with that. Anyways, that's okay. That's it for this review. We'll talk to you guys later.
But can we talk about why there's no black people in the Caribbean ever? Okay.
There was one black person. Two people. Yeah.
That's my biggest thing with these movies. I don't like that it's Pirates of the Caribbean and there's like never black people.
Wow. I just like I never even thought about that. That's what conditioning of the white patriarchy will do to you. You don't even expect to see yourself in some of these films. That's the only
credit I'll give to the other movies, like the two ones in the other trilogies, that they did have like a character that was like Caribbean, that was like kind of a driving force in it. But other than that,
but there's still not enough considering.
Yeah, there's still not. There's still like so many white people. But you're on islands. You're on lots of islands in the Caribbean.
I've been to those islands, and there's not that many white people. Unless they got off the cruise boat with me, there's not that many white people.
There wasn't that many then either, because of slavery. All right.
Everything is trash. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.